What's up, everybody? Jeff Cooper here. Welcome back to Blue Collar Heathen, and I'm too dumb to be a Christian. Let's get this done. So, in my regular life, in my real life, all right, not the online version that you guys all have access to, because not only through this channel, but of course, over on Twitter at BCHVids. If you're not on Twitter, I mean, I get it. It's a dumpster fire. I totally understand. But, that's where we're at. And it is on Twitter that I have most of my interaction with Christians. They don't make claims around me in real life, so I don't get to refute them in real life. I just don't have that. The only time I really get to do that is online. And have been doing it quite a bit on Twitter lately because they say some goofy things, man. Just goofy. So, one of the more common responses that I've got to biblical criticism is that I don't have a proper understanding of it because I don't read it in the original Hebrew or the original Greek or the original Aramaic, because I'm getting a translation. And of course, it's a bad translation. All translations are bad translations because Greek has so many more words than English does. There's another meaning when you read it in Hebrew that, one cannot get from a translation. And okay, all right. I mean, I don't know enough about these languages to refute those comments. I don't. Maybe I am missing something. Maybe there is another meaning that one can glean from reading, I don't know, fucking Exodus or Deuteronomy in Hebrew, or, the gospel of, whatever, idiot is writing 50 years after the events, whoever in Greek. One may get additional information and additional understanding of the core message of the biblical texts, the Holy Writ. But why is it incumbent upon me as an atheist to gain this education, when it certainly is not incumbent upon any Christian to have that information before they become confirmed in the church? Now, you had to, say that you believe certain things and maybe, recite the Apostles' Creed or something before they'll let you be, take communion here, or, whatever, requirements that were had. But knowledge and mastery of an ancient language in order to read the original text was never part of the deal. Was never part of the deal for becoming an active adult member of the church. All one needed to do was say that you believed. So when I say I don't believe, I'm held to a different standard. Or so it seems. And that's not cool. But even going further with that, I went and looked up what I would have to do, what one might have to do to be able to gain mastery of these languages, to be able to read the Bible in its original language, as best we can, going back as old as we can with the copies. So, I mean, we can get back to what, 3rd century, 4th century, right? So what one would have to do is take a bunch of courses. You'd have to take courses on ancient Hebrew. You have to take courses on Aramaic. You'd have to take courses on ancient Greek. So I looked around and I found the Institute for Biblical Studies of Jerusalem, which has in its course of instruction, you can sign up for these languages, these language courses, and you can take biblical Hebrew, 1 to 5. Now each of these courses is 9 months in length. All right, so let's count them up. 5 times 9, right? That's 45 last I checked. All right, then you have 2 courses. There's Greek 1 and Greek 2. All right, so that's 2 more. So that's 45. Well, that's 5, 6, 7. And then there's Aramaic, which is just 1 semester at 9 months. So now we're talking 8 total semesters. All right? 72 months that one would have to take to be able to read and properly understand the Bible in the languages in which it was written. 72 months, 6 years. Now you could combine them up maybe. Maybe you could take Hebrew 1, Greek 1 semester, and then the next semester Hebrew 2, Greek 2, and Aramaic. And then maybe you can combine it all down to 5 semesters or 5 semesters, where it'd be 45 months, where you might be able to get it down in just under a skosh under 4 years, which would cost you about $10,000, give or take, $8,000 to $10,000, depending on how you combine the courses up. Now, I don't have that kind of time. I don't have that kind of money. And I don't think that many people do. But the thing is, why am I held to a different standard to not believe than those that do? Anyways, that's just something to think about, okay? That's just something to think about. If you're going to hold me to a standard, why aren't you holding the Christians to the same standard to discuss the same topic? All right, they get a free pass because they believe? Nah, not if you're going to hold me to a standard to not believe. Okay, that just doesn't fly. Can't do that. Or you can do that, but you're wrong. All right. Fact of the matter is if the biblical text was beyond criticism, we would never be having these discussions in the first place. We have the translations from the ancient languages in which it was written to the common languages that are in use today for a reason. You want to get the message out there. If you're going to use that message, okay, to convert people to say, this is what Christianity is about, boom, here's, the church approved version, first church approved translation of the Bible, then if that's what you're giving to Christians, that should be what you're giving to me too. And for you to say, oh, well, you can't criticize it unless you read the original Aramaic or the original Greek or the original Hebrew, you're taking the goalposts and you're moving them. You're moving them from me, where I can't criticize it because I don't know these languages, but if you accept it, you don't need to know those languages. All right? There's a double standard there, and I don't appreciate it. And I'm pretty sick of that frickin' argument, to be honest with you. So I'm just putting it out there. If that's what you're doing, knock it off. Because you don't hold one group to it, you're not going to hold the other group to it. And if you do, you're a dick. So being as that whole little rant there just came from Twitter, I'm going to go with a couple other Twitter things. I put up on Twitter that a couple of weeks ago about a YouTuber that I would encourage people to follow, Skeptic She, and she's closing in on 200 subscribers. So go, if you didn't listen to me and you have not yet subscribed to Skeptic She, go down there, get her up over 200. Also, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to one more person, Omo Ebo. She is a relatively new deconvert from Christianity. And she is a young woman that is offering a unique perspective and insight into the deconversion process and how that affects her life as a young woman in America, but in a relatively tight knit and very religious community when she no longer believes, and how that affects her relationships and her ability to navigate the landscape that she finds herself in at this time. I think she has a fascinating channel. She's doing really, really good work, and she is criminally undersubscribed. She's got about 30 right now. So I want to see her just as, just like Lauren from Skeptic She, right up there, because people need to be, I think more people can benefit from these women's stories. I truly do. So I'm going to leave a link to Lauren, Skeptic She, and Omo Ebo. I would ask that if you have not subscribed to one or both of these, that you go ahead and do so. Ring their bell, get the notifications from them, stop in, say hi. But, don't tell them that I sent you because nobody gives a shit. Anyways, other thing on Twitter, you know what? I'm going to put it up here because this is like my favorite meme from the whole week, from this whole past week. This is my favorite meme because I think that bat is freaking adorable. All right, sue me. So there you go. Also, if you have another Twitter thing that was going around, and this is for Digital Hammurabi. They are going to be starting a channel. My understanding is they're going to be starting a channel aimed at bringing their knowledge of ancient Mesopotamia to 12 to 15-year-olds. And they're looking for children in that age demographic to read some questions for the videos, and they'll make like a cartoon avatar of the child and maybe use their first name, I think. And so if it's your kid and you're worried about anonymity and safety, they're doing it right. And, I'm like super paranoid about that kind of thing pretty much all the time. And I have, my daughter is within that age bracket, and, she went and read a question. So, congrats to her, and, she'll be on there. So if you know a child in that age bracket, or if you have one, maybe it's not your child, maybe it's a niece or a nephew, check with the parents. And if everything's cool, go over to Digital Hammurabi, follow them on Twitter. I'll leave a link down here. And, inquire about getting the child to read some questions and do some voice acting. It's a fun experience, to get a kid in front of a mic and let them play with it a bit. And, we had fun. We played with the effects and all that stuff. And, she thought it was really cool. And, I'm biased as fuck, but, I think my daughter did pretty well.
Did the Mesopotamians build pyramids?
Okay. All right. Anyways, that's all we got for this time. Thank you so much for sticking around. This is the part of the episode where you do the YouTube-y things. The liking, the sharing, the subscribing, the ringing of the bell, the getting of the notifications. Leave me a comment down below. What do you think about the double standard of education of foreign languages to criticize the Bible? All right? Am I way off base? Aren't they moving the goalposts? Or am I misinterpreting it? I'll allow that I could be wrong. Hey, it's happened before. Allegedly. But, let me know. Anyways, thank you guys. We'll see you around. Here come the tunes. We'll see you next time. Later.